All right, the papers are in, just like I said, and this is the segment where we reel out these headlines and then we have, a review of these papers. Let's start with The Nation this morning. The Nation newspaper. IOC's frustrating rollout of petrol, says Dangote refinery. IOC's frustrating rollout of petrol, says Dangote refinery. And with rider, Femi accuses government agency of aiding indiscriminate importation. Femi accuses government agency of aiding indiscriminate importation. And of course, just below that, you have the picture of that inferno that happened at, it started fire at church, the Christ Embassy Church in Oregon, Lagos yesterday. And the story is on page 5. Rivers Council workers plan protest over police presence. And state airport, how viable? That's a big question for many states, many governments that are embarked on that project and the ones that have it already. I mean, of those airports are viable. Now, why your government delayed approval of Olakule's choice as 43rd Olubadan? Alake Solid Minerals boost foreign reserves by $5 million. All right, with a rider, minister presents gold bar to president. And of course, you can see the picture there of Mr. Dele Alake, the president, Mrs. Fati Mashinkafi, during the gold bar and certificate presentation at the weekend. All right, that's the goal there. Top strip, Kano government serves bio eviction notice from Nasarawa Palace. Right, that's another angle to what is happening in Kano. Governor raises dust over spending of 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy. Okay, INEC retains placeholder as a Apata's running mate in Edo. Interesting. Why a board remains top in varsity ratings by Alpha Babalola. A lot of things to really talk about. And let's go here. Let's start with these. By the way, Ladeji Alabi is here. Good morning, Ladeji. How was your weekend?
Good morning. I'm
Good
fine.
morning,
Good
Deji.
morning, Evelyn. Trust you guys are doing fine.
Good.
We're holding on. We're alive. All right. And let me start with this Dangote refinery story. IOC's frustrating rollout of petrol, says Dangote refinery. And, Femi accuses government agency of aiding indiscriminate importation. Those are two, angles to the situation. But the first one is that IOC's frustrating rollout of petrol, says Dangote refinery. Yeah.
Well, the game is the game, and I think he understands very well also that what he's trying to do is to solving a very big problem in the petroleum sector in Nigeria, which would actually, be met with a lot of roadblocks and, from international and even from within. Don't forget the same crisis almost, happened to Allen Oyema in the aviation sector when he slashed, the airfare from Nigeria to the United Kingdom. And the same thing I said then was the fact that Nigeria and Nigerians need to now, give support to these guys. Both Aliko Dangote now is refinery because be that as it may, if NNPC can, we can tackle the issue of oil theft and NNPC can roll out the needed number of, the refined product for them to refine for us, then we will limit the way we, go out there, export the raw material and bring in the refined product. And apparently, there are saboteurs in the system already. There is no doubt about that.
Maybe that's what the RADA is saying, that they're accusing government agency of aiding indiscriminate importation.
As of now, Femi, we cannot boastfully say we produce 2 million barrels per day. And every now and then you hear Navy, arrest people in, illegal refineries with so numbers of barrels of oil. It means they are saboteurs in the system. And these are the things that we talk about. One person want to, lift us out of the quagmire.
This one is even saying aiding indiscriminate importation.
Because they make more money from it. If you connect the dots now, you understand why many people have said the government is still paying subsidy. Because a lot of people are feeding fat on this.
All right.
They are feeding fat on the fact that we still import PMS as of now. And you can also link that to why many of the government refineries are not working.
All right.
Some people are becoming billionaires because we are still importing PMS.
All right. That is a good way to put it. That will be all from the front page of The Nation.
From The Nation, we head on to The Guardian newspaper this morning. The Guardian newspaper this morning. CBN stress tests FX market reform, stops BDC funding. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And also some information regarding that particular headline. Apex Bank trades quick fixes for long-term confidence building. Wadabe, lack of clarity in new guidelines fueling fresh panic. Naira on edge ahead of summer activities. Moody's, government to spend 36% revenue on interest. And NPC commits to 21.4% long-term inflation target. That's on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Cholera, APC chieftain warns governors against a diversion of 260 billion naira PHC's fund. And NIBSS announces new CEO, AfriGoPay COO. Algon, Nolgay, Beaker over police occupation of Rivers Council Secretariat. And Bago Nakontifa on poor handling of 2024 Hajj, death of pilgrims. A sad one there. And price of rice soars by over 180% in 12 months. Beans hits 219%. Custom queries NAFDAC over unregistered drugs. Amazing. And the force over return to old national anthem. I thought we were over this already. Seems we are still, some quarters are still on this. National Assembly under pressure on new minimum wage law compliance. LP insists on Obi as 2027 presidential candidate. And Dangote, that's the top strip now, accuses IOCs of manipulating crude oil prices, plotting refineries' failure. Now let's move over to Ladeji Alabi in the studios here. Let's talk about the crisis rocking LP at this time. All right, this particular headline says LP insists on Obi as 2027 presidential candidate. Two questions. I'm sure you may have seen the video of Kenneth Okonkwo, who is chieftain and one of the presidential spokesperson in the last election. That's for the Labour Party, saying that the Labour Party is being run like a secret cult. There is some information that, doesn't go around, especially to the chieftains of the party and what have you. And he's saying that if this continues, he may have to defect. This is coming just 2024, 3 years, to go down to the 2027 election. But my first question is, do you think Obi would still make use of LP as a platform to reach that goal, his presidential ambition? And also the crisis rocking LP, do you think it will actually make it a viable opposition?
Well, first off, this would just be an advice to the leadership of Labour Party. A lot of Nigerians, and maybe due to the fact that Peter Obi was their flag bearer last year, actually believed Labour Party should be, a beacon of hope as a viable opposition, for them, and also a tool through which they can get the new Nigerian Day, envisage. But if this continues, I don't see them, being serious. If you want to really give a party in power a run for their money, then you must put your house in order. Over the weekend also, there are news making around that the Apapa faction and the Aburi's faction have actually aligned now. A media house actually reported that they want to fight, a common enemy, which is Peter Obi, and another news coming out now that Obi remains the presidential flag bearer. All I just can advise the Labour Party is that they should put their house in order. Now, speaking to 2027, if Obi would be the presidential candidate of Labour Party, or do I see Labour Party as a one that Obi can still run? Well, politicians, they know how to play their games. Don't forget also there are talks of about political parties coming together. We've had presidential candidates of the PDP saying
a possible coalition
with the NMPP led by Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, and also possibly the Labour Party. But also from the from the Obedient movement, they are saying any coalition that doesn't have Obi as the flag bearer, they will not be in support.
Is that wise enough?
See,
I mean, there's supposed to be some compromise. When we had that coalition in 2015 that ousted
the PDP government, right?
The PDP government, there was some compromise on the part of the CPC, the APC, and all of that.
Don't forget also that the APC was just used as a tool to get the power. They were not really prepared for governance. And that is why we've seen the terrible things we've seen over the years. All they were fixated about, all they were passionate about is, let's just take over the government. And that's why you see even in the APC, you see the ACN tendency, you see the CCC tendencies and all this. For me, thank you, beg your pardon. For me, whatever coalition you are going to have now, be it PDP, LP, NMPP coalition, or PDP, ACC, or whatever you want to have, please have a proper plan. And I think Obi has also said it that he is not ready for any coalition that is all, that the major goal is just to take over, power. The major goal for him is to see Nigeria work. I think that should be the goal of everybody. Be it with the APC, be it with the PDP, be it with the LP, with the ACN or whatever. What we should all be focusing now is to make Nigeria work for every one of us. I mean the common men on the street, not the little politicians that doesn't even make up to 1% of the population.
Just in one word, if Obi agrees to play, say, vice to another candidate, just to take off APC from the seat, do you think it will make him unpopular?
Well, I think that will amount to desperation. Because you wanted to be president, and all because you wanted to get, that means you want to just...
But he just said that his ambition is not really to get to power, but to make Nigeria work. So if you want to make Nigeria work by playing vice to another person...
In reality, Evelyn, most of the time we run with the policy of the president. Nobody knows the vice. The vice works based on, even the deputy governor works based on the directive of the governor. So if you have this, your ideology, and another person, you are working with another person that has this ideology, then you have conflict. That's why I said it will amount to desperation. If you really feel, you guys can have a government of national unity. Okay, let's decide. Even if you are not the running person, you might just be, okay, I'm supporting this so and so person. We want to form a national government, and we want to, this ideology, this is what we are working towards, and I think that should work.
All right, thank you so much, Ladeji. That'll be all from The Guardian.
Next is the Tribune newspaper. How corruption added 15% cost to food bulk product importation. That's a report. And with riders, Dangote accuses IOCs of planning to frustrate refinery. No confirmed case of cholera in Osun government. Retired Army General killed in Abuja. CP orders probe. Saddening. ASUP kicks as federal government releases new scheme of service for HND holders. 121.67 trillion naira public debt. Set as inspection panel to hold World Bank to account. And Lagos to subject Christ Embassy building to material testing aftermath of fire outbreak. NDLEA bust snake-guarded shrine used to store illicit drugs. Arrest 2 in a door. Bizarre. NAB's 76-year-old grandfather in Abuja. And Tinubu orders sanctions on civil servants drawing salaries after relocating abroad. Why banks' huge profit outpace GDP growth in same economy analysis. 50 federal lawmakers write Tinubu seek Kanu's release, want invocation of Section 174. FAN begins a raid of touts across airports. today. Quickly, let's look into that. Ladeji, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria begins a raid of touts across airports today.
Well, a fantastic one, a good move, Femi. We've seen complaints about Nigeria, but I also want to add that beyond just the, they should look at the touts in uniforms too. Because we've seen, I had a friend that had to travel to South Africa, and he told me what he saw in the hands of our immigration officers compared to what he experienced over there in Johannesburg, South Africa. We also have touts in uniform, people that just last year or thereabout, we saw an officer, I'm not sure it was of the immigration or whatever, that actually tried to put an illicit drug in the package, in the luggage of a traveler. So I think FAN needs to do well. We need to bring sanity to our airports. Right. These are the first point of call when people get into Nigeria, and that gives them an impression of, okay, so this is Nigeria. What they say at the airport is like their first point of contact, and they can actually, just choose to measure us by what they see there. So it is a good development. Let's bring sanity to our airports and, move forward from there.
All right. Thank you, Ladeji. Let's take a pause with you right now and on the segment as well. And then we get talking about the issues for today. But we most sincerely thank you for your time. We will be back. It's the Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Stay with us.